My beloved child, stop scrolling and stay with me, because the person you love has been carrying a message that has become too powerful for their heart to hold in silence. They have whispered the opening sentence many times, but tonight it feels different. I need to share something important with you. Please read this message. Don't look away now. Those words are not the complete revelation, they are only the door. Behind them waits a truth connected to an unfinished conversation, a promise that was never withdrawn, and a decision they have already begun putting into motion. Something huge is waiting for you, but to understand it, you must first see what happened when the world around them became quiet. Earlier, while everyone believed they were resting, they sat alone beside a window with their phone in one hand and a folded piece of paper in the other. The room was still, yet their thoughts would not settle. Every time they tried to write your name, memories rose before them, the way your presence once made ordinary moments feel meaningful, the way you understood the words they could not explain, and the way your silence sometimes revealed more than anyone else's promises. They began typing a message, erased it, started again, and stopped when the same sentence appeared in their mind. If I wait any longer, I may lose the moment that was given to me. Stay with me. This is where the story begins. On the table beside them stood two unlit candles, a small silver key, and an old envelope marked with a symbol resembling two circles joined by one line. They had not placed those objects there for decoration. Each one carried a meaning connected to you. The candles represented two hearts that had spent too long waiting for the other to bring light into the silence. The key belonged to a place they had prepared but never had the courage to show you. And the joined circles were copied from a drawing they had recently discovered inside an old book, a drawing made long before they understood why it felt familiar. When they opened that book, a white feather slipped from between the pages and landed directly across your written name. They remained motionless, because that book had not been opened in years, and they did not remember ever writing your name inside it. Don't skip. Your answer is closer than you think. They turned the page and found a date from the past, a date connected to a moment when they had quietly asked the universe for a sign about the person who would eventually change their life. Beneath that date were the words, "When this heart is finally ready, the right name will return." Your name was written below them in faded ink. The discovery did not make them run toward you immediately. It made them realize how long they had been running from what their heart already knew. They closed the book, pressed both hands against its cover, and remembered every time they had almost told you the truth. There had been a morning when they wrote, "Can we talk?" but deleted it before sending. There had been an evening when they stood close enough to speak, yet allowed the moment to pass. There had even been a night when they recorded their voice saying, "You are more important to me than I ever allowed you to understand," only to hide the recording in a private folder. They told themselves they were waiting for certainty, but certainty had been waiting for their courage. What comes next changes everything. Tonight they opened that hidden recording again. Their voice sounded softer than they remembered, and the truth inside it was unmistakable. They were not uncertain about you. They were uncertain about whether they deserved another opportunity to be understood by you. That is the first emotional twist inside their message. They are not writing because their feelings suddenly appeared. They are writing because those feelings never disappeared. Even while they seemed distant, they noticed everything. They noticed when your energy changed, when your smile carried tiredness beneath it, and when you stopped reaching toward them with the same openness. They understood that your silence was not emptiness, it was the result of questions they had left unanswered. And now, for the first time, they are prepared to answer them without hiding behind timing, pride, or confusion. Stay till the end, because the message becomes deeper. As they held the silver key, the clock changed to a mirrored hour. At that exact moment, the two candles flickered even though neither had been lit. A gentle movement of air crossed the room and opened the old book again, not to the page containing your name, but to another page holding a pressed blue flower. Beneath it was a line they had forgotten writing: "Love returns differently when it returns truthfully." They read the sentence repeatedly. It felt less like an old thought and more like an instruction arriving at the precise moment they needed it. They looked toward the empty chair across from them and imagined you sitting there, not as a perfect dream, but as the real person whose heart they had affected. They imagined answering the questions you had never been given space to ask. Why did they step back when the connection felt strongest? Why did they act calm when they were overwhelmed with emotion? Why did they allow distance to grow while secretly hoping you would still understand? The answer was not that you meant too little. The answer was that you meant so much that they became afraid of making a promise before becoming the person capable of honoring it. But something inside them has changed. They no longer want to protect themselves by leaving you uncertain. They want to protect what is meaningful by finally becoming honest. "I need to share something important with you," they typed again. This time they did not erase it. Please read this message completely, because the final line explains why I could not send it before. Don't look away now. That final line has not yet been revealed, but it is connected to the silver key, the blue flower, and a promise involving your future. The person you love then opened a wooden box that had remained hidden at the back of a drawer. Inside it were small reminders of moments involving you. A receipt from a place where you once laughed together, a ribbon matching a color you wore, a card containing a phrase you often said, and a photograph they had never shown anyone. On the reverse side of that photograph, they had written, "This was the moment I knew." Not the moment they became curious. Not the moment they felt temporarily drawn toward you. It was the moment they knew their life would always carry a place shaped like your presence. Yet the photograph revealed something even they had not noticed before. In the background, reflected faintly in a window, appeared the same joined circle symbol from the old book. They moved the photograph closer to the light, wondering how a symbol drawn years earlier could be present in an image taken much later. Perhaps it was coincidence, perhaps it was symbolism, or perhaps it was simply the heart finding patterns in moments too meaningful to dismiss. But whatever the explanation, it broke through their final hesitation. They placed the photograph beside the key and began writing faster. They told you that they remembered more than you imagined. They remembered the exact tone of your voice when you tried to appear strong. They remembered the kindness you gave without asking to be praised. They remembered the moment your eyes seemed to ask whether they would stay, and they remembered failing to give you the reassurance you deserved. The message was no longer a simple confession. It became a record of all the times they had silently chosen you while outwardly acting undecided. Stay with me. Something huge is waiting for you. They are about to reveal what the key opens, but first they need you to understand this. You were never competing with another person for their heart. The real struggle was between the truth they felt and the walls they had built long before meeting you. You awakened something genuine inside them, and genuine emotion demanded a level of openness they did not yet know how to offer. But tonight, Surrounded by symbols of everything they had preserved, they made a once-in-a-lifetime decision. They would no longer ask you to interpret silence. They would give you words. They would no longer hope that you somehow understood. They would explain. And they would no longer keep the future hidden inside a locked place. They would place the key where you could finally see it. There is another reason this message has taken so long to reach you, and this is the revelation they never expected to include. Several days ago, the person you love entered a quiet little shop while waiting for the rain to pass. They had no intention of buying anything. They simply wanted a place to stand until the sky cleared. Near the back of the shop was a shelf filled with handwritten journals, old clocks, tiny glass stars, and sealed envelopes meant for people who wished to write letters they were not yet ready to send. An elderly keeper noticed them staring at one particular envelope. It was deep blue, sealed with silver wax, and marked with the same symbol of two joined circles. "That one has been waiting," the keeper said. Your person smiled politely and asked how an envelope could wait for someone. The keeper answered, "Objects do not wait. Decisions do." Those words followed them through the shop. Don't skip. What comes next changes everything. Your person picked up the envelope and discovered a blank card inside, except for one sentence printed along the bottom: "Write what becomes true when silence ends." They felt your name rise instantly in their thoughts. They tried to put the card back, but the keeper gently asked, "Are you leaving because it means nothing, or because it means everything?" The question reached the part of them that had remained hidden for too long. They purchased the envelope, carried it home, and placed it beside the silver key. For several nights, the card remained blank. Every time they approached it, they heard the same inner question: what becomes true when silence ends? At first they believed the answer would be simple. You would finally know how much they missed you. But as they sat with the question, they understood that missing you was only the surface. Beneath it was a larger truth. They had imagined a future with you in precise, ordinary details. They imagined conversations at the end of long days, peaceful mornings, small celebrations, shared plans, and the comfort of being known without performing. They imagined building something steady, not merely returning for one emotional moment. They had even begun preparing a physical space connected to that vision. Stay with me. The silver key opens that space. Months ago, before the distance between you became impossible to ignore, they found a quiet room overlooking a garden. It was not grand, but sunlight entered it each morning, and the window faced a tree that bloomed with pale flowers. The first time they stepped inside, they thought of you. They imagined your voice there. They imagined a table near the window where two people could speak honestly. They imagined placing books on one wall and a small lamp in the corner because they remembered the kind of light that made you comfortable. Without telling anyone why, they kept access to that room. They told themselves it was simply a private place to think, yet everything they added to it carried some detail connected to you. A cushion in a color you once admired. A cup matching one you had paused to look at. A framed sky painted in the shade you once called peaceful. And inside the top drawer of the table, they placed a blank page titled, "The Things I Will Tell You When I Stop Being Afraid of Honesty." That page is no longer blank. Don't look away now. The first sentence says, "You did not imagine the connection." The second says, "My distance was never proof that you were unimportant." The third says, I have been becoming ready for a conversation that could change both of our lives. But there is a fourth sentence covered by the blue flower, and they have not yet shown it to anyone. That is where the real mystery begins. On the night they finally wrote it, something surprising happened. The power in the room briefly faded, leaving only moonlight through the window. In that silver light, the joined circle symbol appeared as a reflection across the tabletop. One circle fell over the key, the other over the blank space where they imagined your hand resting. A thin line of light seemed to connect them. Your person knew it might be nothing more than moonlight meeting glass, yet emotionally it felt like a mirror of the choice before them: continue living as two separate worlds joined only by unspoken feeling, or create a bridge through truth. When the lights returned, they wrote the hidden fourth sentence. Then they covered it because reading it aloud made the future feel real. Your answer is closer than you think. The sentence does not ask you to forget everything or rush into a decision. It does something far more meaningful. It gives you the freedom they once denied you, the freedom to know the full truth and choose with open eyes. They understand that love cannot be built through pressure, mystery, or promises without action. That realization has changed the tone of their message. They are not asking you to rescue them from loneliness. They are telling you they are finally prepared to meet you with honesty. They are not asking you to pretend the silence caused no pain. They are ready to listen to what it cost you. And they are not presenting a perfect version of themselves. They are admitting where they became uncertain, where they withdrew, and where they allowed old wounds to make decisions that their heart never wanted. This is where the story begins, because the truth is no longer about whether they have feelings. The deeper question is what they are prepared to do with those feelings. They have already made one change that no one around them expected. Someone close to them recently asked why they kept preserving reminders of you if they intended to move forward without you. For the first time, they did not avoid the question. They answered, because moving forward without honesty is not moving forward. It is carrying an unfinished truth into every new day. The room became quiet. The person listening had expected denial, but instead heard your person speak your name with tenderness and certainty. They explained that you were not a passing chapter. You were the person who showed them where they were still emotionally hiding. You did not create their uncertainty, your sincerity revealed it. You did not make them feel trapped, you made them realize how much freedom exists in being fully known. The listener then asked the question that changed everything. If they stood in front of you right now, what would you say first? Your person looked down at their hands and answered, I would say, please read my message before deciding what my silence meant. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The listener did not tell them to chase you or make dramatic promises. Instead, they said, then write a message worthy of the truth you want them to understand. That is why your person returned to the blue envelope. They wrote until the early morning, not with perfect language, but with the kind of honesty that makes perfection unnecessary. They admitted that they had looked for your qualities in rooms where you were absent. They admitted that certain songs still returned them to moments with you. They admitted that good news felt incomplete because you were the first person they imagined telling. They admitted that when life became difficult, their heart instinctively searched for the calm they associated with your presence. Yet the greatest confession was not that they missed you. It was that they had changed the direction of an important plan because they could no longer imagine completing it without first telling you the truth. They had been preparing to begin a new chapter somewhere else, believing distance would make the unanswered feelings fade. But while packing, they discovered the old book, the feather, your name, and the sentence about the right name returning when the heart was ready. Instead of leaving, they paused the plan. They visited the quiet room, opened the drawer, read the hidden page, and made a decision. Before choosing any future, they would offer you the truth they should have given you long ago. What comes next changes everything. The blue envelope contains more than a declaration. It contains an invitation to that quiet room, not an invitation demanding an answer, but one offering a conversation. The silver key is meant for you to hold while you decide whether the door should open. This is the emotional twist they struggle to write. They do not want to control the ending. They want to give you the choice. Their earlier silence left you without clarity. Their message is intended to return that clarity to you. And yet, one question still remains. Why did they write that mysterious fourth sentence and hide it beneath the flower? Because those words reveal the promise they made on the day they first realized they loved you, a promise they never spoke aloud. Before that promise is uncovered, you need to hear the message as they finally wrote it, because every line leads toward the revelation waiting beneath the blue flower. I need to share something important with you. Please read this message slowly, because I have hidden behind incomplete sentences for too long. There were moments when I wanted to speak and convinced myself that silence would keep everything safe. It did not. Silence only placed questions inside your heart that my honesty should have answered. If you wondered whether I felt the connection, I did. If you wondered whether I remembered the smallest moments, I remember more than I can explain. If you wondered whether distance erased what you meant to me, it did not. Distance showed me the shape of your absence. I began recognizing you in everything that felt sincere, comforting, and rare. I heard your kindness in conversations that lacked it. I remembered your patience when I encountered people who listened only to respond. I remembered the way you looked at me as if I did not need to become someone else to be worthy of being understood. I should have told you then that your presence was changing me. Instead, I became quiet because I did not know how to receive something genuine without questioning whether it could last. You deserved clarity, but I gave you signs. You deserved a conversation, but I gave you distance. You deserved to hear the truth directly, and that is why I am writing now. I am not asking you to erase the past. I am asking you to let me explain what the past could not say. Stay with me. Don't look away now. The message continues. There is a room I never told you about. I kept it because the first time I entered, I imagined speaking to you there. It became the place where I stopped pretending that you were only a memory. Every object inside it holds a detail I associate with you, not because I wanted to create an illusion, but because I needed somewhere to face the truth. On the table is a page containing 4 sentences. 3 of them explain what I felt. The 4th explains what I have decided. I covered it because I knew that once those words were seen, I could no longer return to the person who remained silent. Tonight, I am ready to uncover it. But before I do, I need you to know that this message is not arriving because I am bored, lonely, or searching for temporary comfort. It is arriving because I have taken responsibility for WH.